Well, ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. While playing Fallout 76 late one night, I completely lost my head. I wasn't able to record what produced this particular Fallout 76 glitch, or Fallout 76 bug, not really sure the difference, but I did capture the aftermath, which is what you're about to see. Starting off with how this happened, I tried to enter a suit of power armor I found in the Ash Heap region, and that's when my controls became unresponsive. I decided to log out and log back in, and this is what I was greeted with. Yeah, this isn't how I was dressed before I logged out, and I'm pretty sure that all-night bender was 2 nights ago, not yesterday. Oh well. At least I got a smokin' bod. Just like I do in real life, I keep telling myself. I decided to see if there was anything I could do to try to rectify this situation, and that's when I began to realize just how deeply this problem was rooted. First thing I noticed was the invisible gun that I was bestowed by the Bethesda god of bugs. It's an invisible gauze rifle that should make a power-up sound effect. It's not there. The rounds do fire, however. This amazingly rare weapon also comes with the standard reload animation, on a weapon that's caught in between dimensions apparently. I tried to exit from the power armor, but it kept saying you can't exit your armor here. And when I tried to access my Pip-Boy, a similar message stated that the Pip-Boy is unavailable. I mean, of course I can't use my Pip-Boy, duh! I have the ability to shoot explosive bullets from nothing but my outstretched empty hands, but I can't do something so simple as accessing the menu. It was apparent that the Fallout 76 game lords had placed me in a suit of invisible power armor as well, since the sound effect for running in power armor was present. I wanted to test whether or not the other perks of power armor were present as well. Time to hurtle my hot body off a cliff to see if I take any damage. Which, for those of you who have never played Fallout, power armor prohibits damage after a high fall. I still had access to the map menu, which was a big plus. Perhaps if I fast travel, that'll reset this bug. Nope. Well, I made it to my primary camp, set on the edge of a rather high cliff. Time to take the plunge. And that's kind of what I thought. No fall damage. However, my abs are so rock hard that the entire earth shakes when I hit the ground. At least now I know how Mario feels when he's stomping Goombas. I wanted to test these new superpowers to the fullest, so I stashed all my junk and ran towards the nearest enemies to see if the damage reduction would be the same as if I was actually in power armor. And if I die, maybe it'll get rid of this bug. I once again flung myself off the cliff to the same earth-shattering result, and quickly engaged enemy combatants from the local cult of the Mothman. Alright, same damage reduction as power armor? Check. Not part of a team, but I can still call for help? Check. Is that normal, or is that bugged too? Well, either way. Time to see if I've been cursed to this life of nakedness and shame for the rest of eternity. It can't get any worse, right? Oh, well, the power armor HUD is now available. Oh, come on! What is this? Alright. Don't freak out. Just be calm. I don't have a head, and that's okay. This is normal. I don't have a head! With that breakdown behind me, the next thing I wanted to figure out was if the visual part of this bug was something that could only be seen by me, or if other players could also bask in the stunning grace of my visual wonderment. I checked the map to see where the most players were and headed to Cranberry Bog. Obviously, these brave 76ers were engaging in the Battle of the Ages, so I assumed no one would really take the time to stop if I asked them about my dilemma. However, it seemed that no one was really caught off guard by the naked man with no head running around the battlefield, shooting blue death rays from his fingertips, so I assumed the visual bug may be limited to my screen. Not 100% sure on that, though. After contributing pretty much nothing to the battle, I decided to head over to my secondary camp. Inserting shameless plug here. Check out my Fallout 76 Real Estate Show series, where I honestly review player-made camps and tear apart the logic of their layout and the weird glitches in the Bethesda camp building system. And now, back to the story. Since I still can't exit the power armor, I figured I would completely drain the fusion core by doing sprints to see if that did anything. Obviously, you might be able to tell I rarely use power armor since I had forgotten what happens when the energy is depleted, but that's for later in the video. After sprinting toward the Brotherhood of Steel checkpoint down the road from the Wayward, I saw the lazy initiates get up from their nap and start to pull security like they were supposed to be doing in the first place. Good job, guys! On a side note, can you imagine seeing this headless body running toward you in the dead of night? That's a 55-gallon drum of nightmare fuel right there. After sprinting for a bit, I finally ran down the fusion core, only to realize that I had another in my inventory. Apparently that red number in the fuel gauge is how many reserves you have. Well, time to spend a half hour running from one side of Appalachia to the other so I can drain this new fusion core. Hey, I've already committed to this thing. Might as well push the boundaries with this bug and see what happens. I set my destination for the ash heap in the south, and fast traveled to my starting point at the crater in the far north. Then, with the same tenacity and stamina as Forrest Gump,
I just felt like running.
And running, and running, and oh, nice view. And running, and running. On my Appalachia through sprint, as I stopped to catch my breath through the massive gaping hole in my neck, I began to notice some other odd glitches that were manifesting in the game, presumably in connection with the Fallout 76 glitch related to my power armor fiasco. The game started having difficulty loading assets around me. I thought things looked a bit odd, but the first time I truly noticed things were glitching was at Morgantown Station. It's almost as though the Fallout 76 realm was having difficulty realizing I was even there. The silver lining in all this is that I found out I could turn on my power armor headlamp, and it lights up nothing but my beautiful abs.
Oh my.
I soon also began to notice that I wasn't encountering nearly as many enemies as I should have been. Sometimes enemies would simply apparate straight from Azkaban next to me, although this is somewhat common for Fallout 76. The biggest struggle for the game occurred when I entered the perimeter of Charleston. With the rendering issues seen here, the city had an even creepier post-apocalyptic feel to it. And let's not mention the boat that has a cloaking device from Star Trek. I was nearing the end of my journey when I decided to test how battling one-on-one with an enemy NPC would go. I first needed to carefully sneak this headless walking corpse as close to her as I could without arousing suspicion. Okay. She doesn't see me yet. Is she blind? Oh, nope. There it is. Apparently she can only see 6 feet in front of her. Well, I certainly can kill enemies and apparently use my scope on a weapon that doesn't really exist. And as soon as the battle had begun, it was over. My powers of conjuring magical bullets and defending myself with rock-hard abs was simply too overwhelming for her to handle. Well, that and her inability to see what she was shooting at. Well, I think it's time to see if draining the fusion core will automatically eject me from the power armor. Oh. Yeah. That's right. It just forces you to walk 1/16 of an inch per minute when the fusion core is depleted. Yeah, now I remember that. And to top it all off, there's a beeping noise that will not stop. Time to fast travel back to my camp. Well, that's the game-breaking bug that currently plagues my Fallout 76 existence. This bug happened right after the Locked and Loaded update, and 2 other players on Reddit said they're experiencing the same thing. It seems that PlayStation, Xbox, and PC are all affected by this. I would highly recommend for players not to enter or exit any power armor until Bethesda can get a grip on this glitch. I'm hoping they can restore all the accounts affected to some normalcy, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Well, that's all I got. Make sure to check out the Fallout 76 real estate series I've been working on, and if you enjoy what you see, like the videos, comment what you think, and subscribe for more. Until then, take care.